MikeDurbin.com. You can get the WCW-esque Konnan in that K-Dog Wolfpack style. Man, this Konnan might be Bendy of the Year right now.
I told you. Yo. Let me speak on this. Mike Durbin Productions exclusive. The Konnan, I was the most impressed with Konnan, man. It's like undercover Bendy of the Year. It's a really nice figure. The do-rag is freaking awesome in person. I love the exclusive with the WCW packaging. I love this one with the camo. It's really nice.
And I will say a figurine expert who went to TJ on Friday, Matt Cardona, put it over as being a good figurine as far as figurines go.
Yo, hold on, let me speak on this. Exclusive Mike Durbin Productions, K-Dog. Look at that, listen to K-Dog, keeping it 100, logo on the back, MikeDurbin.com. Get it right now. Low key might be Bendy of the Year. Go get it.
Well, we could actually we could have a conversation about this. We could talk about how Tony Khan treats the Mexican wrestlers,
right?
Regardless of what promotion you're in. Like, I never see these guys ever win a match. Like the CML guys came in and I don't think they've won a match yet, have they?
Well, heck, who knows them though?
I know nobody knows them. It's like you bring a Mexican wrestler on, it's like he takes the L, you know.
That was so weird because they had a match.
I watched the Atlantis Jr. versus Chris Jericho Corazon de Leon match, yeah.
Right. The funniest thing to me was like, I'm going to wrestle his son out of respect. And when they get in the ring, he slaps him.
Right.
But why was that match on there?
They tried to make, you don't understand how they just put these guys on. There's no build-up. They tried last night.
Yeah, with a little video package.
Right.
Yeah.
But the gist of the thing was, this guy wrestled his dad 30 years ago.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, if that was...
Why isn't he wrestling his dad? Right. His dad still wrestles, by the way.
Well, because here's the thing. If these guys have a 30-year history, it would have been more like, let's take a couple weeks and talk about the history. Like some of the things that have happened through your past. So like drag it out for a little bit instead of just like try to, okay, we're doing a backstory here. Say this, they do shit, and then they wrestled and then the guy got beat. It's like, all right, you know, I get it.
And at the end of the day, it was like Jericho was on tour with Fozzy in Europe, so now he's back. What do we do with him? Oh, we got this thing with CMLL Luchadors. Let's put him again to Atlantis Jr. because he wrestled Atlantis 30 years ago. For me, it doesn't make any sense.
It didn't make me care about it, but it's like, you know. So.
Now, you follow AEW more than I do, Harry. The Mexicans lose most of the time, okay? Pentagon beats everybody.
On the big shows.
Right. Pentagon beats everybody except the top guys, right?
Yep.
That's basically how they treat him.
Yeah, and they are like, you talk about a Penta, you talk about a Commander, Hijo del Vikingo. Whenever you go and watch them live, Phoenix, who has been out for a while, you go watch them live and they get some of the biggest reactions in the crowd. But when they wrestle on Dynamite or on Collision, they rarely win. When they wrestle on Rampage, they do get wins, but nobody watches them. Like me, I'm a diehard AEW fan and I don't watch Rampage anymore.
It's very similar to the dynamic we had in WCW between the mid-card guys and the top guys. You know, they all wrestle each other and they win and stuff, but then anytime they go against the top guy, you're done. You're taking the L. It's like you can't even get a win, like ever against like a top guy or one of the top 10 or 12 guys on that show. You know, it's kind of, I don't know. It doesn't hurt to just beat. These guys are getting paid a bank. Like Moxley, Jericho, they're getting paid tons of money. They can get beat. And it's like,
so the main reason now that they are in the mix, the CMLO guys and the AEW guys, and it happened a couple of weeks ago, it was announced that the Blackpool Combat Club is going to be in Arena, Mexico on March 29th. They're going to be on a 4-on-4 match. Místico Volador Jr., Blue Panther, and Último Guerrero versus the Blackpool Combat Club, Bryan Danielson, Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta. So they've been winning on AEW TV. Now that they're going to go to Mexico, more than likely it's going to be them taking the loss or Wheeler Yuta taking the pin. So there's my prediction. I'll say this one on the air.
Thing is, but everybody knows. This is the thing that frustrates me. So they came in, nobody knew who they were. They were standing in the audience or sitting in the audience. Moxley, made fun of them or whatever when he went to the corner. So now a match is made, okay, with no backstory, nothing. Mm-hmm. Then they have 2 matches, and now they're already wrestling FTR. 2 matches meant nothing, did nothing for anybody, right? Really nothing. And then they bring this kid in, Atlantis Jr. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody cares.
I think this is the way Tony books. he books like back in the day from like off the wrestling magazines. Like if you could because like when you watch the wrestling, the wrestling,
the old dream match articles.
You're like guys from this organization, guy like a really high, and you would want to book them against each other. And now it's like he has the ability to bring all these things and have them wrestle each other, but it's like it's kind of just like a dream match scenario where we have the guy from this organization, but there's no story to it. It's just like, okay, we got these guys. It's literally like kind of like
matches,
like off the magazines, the rankings and stuff. Yeah, exactly, right?
Like I follow AAA, I don't follow CMLL. So when it was Hechicero versus Bryan Danielson, it was a good match, but I was like, who's Hechicero? And I literally had to talk with a friend of mine when we watched the Super Bowl, and he's like, oh, man, he wrestled in PWG or he wrestled in this SoCal promotion, and that's where I found out about him. He's a great technical wrestler. I was like, well, I have no clue who he is. I just know his entrance is all right, but then he gets in the ring. He's a good wrestler, good technical wrestler, but I'm not invested in the match. And plus, I know that Danielson is going to win. So,
plus, there's no story to invest you in it anyways.
Let me ask you this about the Mexican wrestling, okay? Who between CMLL and AAA? How are both companies drawing? And WWE is coming to Mexico soon. How do they draw? Like what's the Mexican wrestling scene like? Because like in the United States, you got one company's very hot, the other company's not hot. Is it similar dynamic in Mexico right now, or is there both companies like doing what's the dynamic?
You want to take care of it, Konnan? Or look, it's pretty much like AAA, they travel a lot. They go all northern Mexico, southern Mexico, everywhere around Mexico. They got fans. CMLL, they focus mostly on Arena Mexico and Puebla, which is a couple of hours or an hour and a half away from Mexico City. And they run their show there every week. So it's two completely different companies. One is completely technical wrestling. The other one is all about the storylines. It's all about the high flying wrestling like AAA. They do have some technical wrestlers, but it's mostly, in my opinion, as a fan, you want the high flyers. You want the badass wrestlers. That's AAA. You want the technical guys, the older guys, the guys that are going to be with the more traditional fans. That's CMLL. And one is based in Mexico City and pretty much stays there, CMLL. The other one tours and kills it all around the country, which is AAA. And both of them are doing good in their box offices. Like, for example, that March show where Blackpool Combat Club is going to be wrestling CMLL guys. All of the seats have been sold out. They only got the GA on the second floor is the only one that they have tickets for. So they're doing good house business down there in Mexico, both companies.
Okay, so AAA, we know that Vikingo, like say, Konnan, off the top of your head, 3 top guys in AAA right now. Vikingo,
Pentagon Psycho, Pentagon Psycho Pagano.
Okay, then now CMLL, top guys.
Mystico.
Volador, maybe?
Volador. They don't have a lot of names. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Heck, you talk about Atlantis, and he's a guy that wrestled 30 years ago against Chris Jericho.
Right.
Or Último Guerrero.
His kid is so like Jericho wrestled basically Dominic Mysterio on Dynamite was a gimmick, basically. I guess.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!